Welcome to Peralta Matters. I'm your host, Jay Calhoun. Today's episode will be talking about the benefits and the family here at Peralta. So, sit back, relax, and let's get into what matters here at Peralta.
Welcome to Vox Parata. We're here at Laney College asking students what advice would they have to others looking to come into college.
The advice that I would give to somebody that's trying to get back into college is to definitely use the resources that are here at Laney.
Really stay on top of your work, study a lot, and show up to class. Showing up to class gives you points, so that kind of adds up at the end of the semester for you.
You can get a lot of your general education out of the way, and the first 2 years that you would spend as a freshman and a sophomore, you would save a lot of money compared to going to a four-year school.
And you could be a lot more successful in terms of, the indenture servitude, which is the loans that you take on your name, you'll have a lot less. So you won't have as much stress coming out of college, trying to pay the loans back and also pursuing a career.
So I think it's important for everyone just to be involved in their own kind of academic development, and even if they don't know exactly what they want to do, just to be taking classes and trying to kind of figure out what you do want to do in your life.
College is very challenging, but I advise it for anyone who wants to learn and is willing to learn. It brought me back so I can better myself as a person and hopefully carry it on and pass it to someone else.
Well, folks, there you have it. The popular voice right from the students, right at Laney on the quad. I'm your host, Brianna Rogers, and you're watching Vox Peralta on Peralta TV. See you next time.
I'm Congresswoman Barbara Lee. Join me in watching Peralta TV.
Welcome back to Peralta Matters. We are now joined by District Benefits Manager Jennifer Benford Siebert. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. Before we get involved in all the various benefits that I need to talk to you about for my personal stuff, let's tell our audience and our constituency what actually a benefits manager does.
Wow, a benefits manager here at Peralta has a different kind of role than probably what's normally perceived. For example, at one point, benefits managers may have assisted employees or retirees or family members engage in services or get bills paid. But the role of a benefits manager here at Peralta includes web designing, it includes paralegal duties, perhaps managing budgets, a budget of $30 million in a typical year, event planning and coordination, as well as a variety of other customer service and non-customer service related duties. We work closely with our benefits partners in the community, from the Kaisers to the Delta Dentals. Sutter Occupational is a partner of ours. So we try to engage and leverage our business partners to help us deliver high quality of care and services to our 3,000 employees, retirees, and their dependents.
Now that you mentioned that, talk a little bit about where we rank in terms of the employees in the city.
Well, according to Oakland.gov, the City of Oakland website, Peralta ranks 11 as one of the major employers in Oakland. We rank in education behind Oakland Unified, which has about 7,000 employees, and we have more employees than a private employer known as FedEx. So we have about 1,400 employees in a year, as FedEx is about 1,300, and in between are the other private employers in the Bay.
Right. Now, with all these employees, what is the daily, or what is the average amount of back and forth or
Traffic,
actual involvement?
That kind of thing?
Yeah.
Well, on a typical day, in order to answer that question, we have to also consider the means by which people communicate with us. In this era, we receive email, we receive voicemail, we receive walk-in, and then there's still snail mail where we receive the letters. So on a typical day, we can have as many as 25 touch points.
Wow. that carry various questions as far as, what do I get, how do I get my benefits, where do I sign up for this?
Oh yes, varying degrees of interest and concerns from, like you say, where and how do I access my benefits, to do I even have any, and if so, what are they? And quite often, although we service a large community, there are benefits that are not managed in the purview of the group insurances, such as sick leave, vacation leave, and the various other, maybe workers' comp, unemployment. There are benefits outside of what we manage in our wing.
Okay. And within your wing, so to speak, you've got to manage, you've got to decipher, you've got to articulate, you've got to basically fill the needs of all our employees, or is it only a certain number of employees?
Well, the way I look at it is that all employees are our employees.
Right on. Of
the benefits office.
Right on.
Because it's, there's a level of minutia to where we not only manage the service end, but we have how can I say, we need to also make sure we're compliant with IRS.
Gotcha.
W-2 productions, external agencies. So
this is where the paralegal comes in, right?
This is where no, that's the tax accounting part. So if a W-2 is right or wrong, it may have to do with how we've coded benefits onto their W-2.
Gotcha.
So on the one hand, we work closely with the finance office to make sure that information is correct.
Outstanding.
So we make sure that where information shouldn't be there, it's not there.
Right.
So, so to that extent, we partner with internal entities, like I said, once again, payroll, the auditors, the district budget manager, as well as the budget director, I should say, as well as the vice chancellor's office, to make sure that we're fiduciarily responsible, and that we, are compliant with what we need to be compliant with. Did I answer your question?
Perfect.
Okay.
Speaking of budget, what would be the major challenge for administering or managing a benefits budget?
Couple of challenges. One is managing the resources and that we currently have, because in our environment, what revenues we receive come from the state of California.
Gotcha.
So how do we, as a district, how do we manage that? How do we apportion to student growth? Where does benefits, which is a core overhead expense, where does that how do we fiscally deliver those goods?
Right.
What I can say is 10 years ago, let's see, benefits was about, benefits was 17% of the district budget. So for every dollar we received from the state, 17 cents went to benefits.
Gotcha.
Now, fast forward, we're 22% of the budget. So in a 10, 11-year period, we've increased the portion of what we get from the state of California. Now, to your question, how do we manage that? We encourage employees to be engaged in their health and wellness.
Okay.
And we were maybe even 20 years ago in a paternalistic service delivery system.
Right.
The employer is going to take care of us.
Right.
The employer, no matter what I do, the employer is going to make sure we're taken care of. And because of the design of our benefit programs, we were taking care of people, and they didn't need to engage as much as they do now in order to maximize and fully utilize what we provide to them as a part of our benefit community.
Right. One of the key things for me personally as an employee is being able to access your office without actually coming down to you or talking to you or going through it through your website. First, how long did it take to get that together?
The website?
Yes.
The answer is it's a work in progress.
Excellent.
It's never done.
Gotcha.
It's part of our operational commitment to make sure we're as current as we can be on some kind of a systematic rhythm. I would say it has evolved over the years. When I started here at Peralta 10 years ago, I don't believe we had a website.
Correct, right.
So, but then at that time, we were still accepting paper applications for the employment process.
Right.
So as technology has entered into the workforce, the millennials are now applying for our jobs online. Therefore, they expect to look at their benefits online.
Correct.
So we had to grow to meet the needs of the new generation, as well as developing the electronic tools so that people can enroll electronically, which increases our service utility. We can efficiently communicate with our benefits partners because they expect electronic communication as well.
Gotcha.
So even if Peralta didn't change and there was another benefits manager in the seat, the rest of the world is changing, and we have to adapt to that.
Truly.
So thank you for the website.
No
So
problem.
yeah, it's a work in
Outstanding.
progress. We're always working on it,
Good.
and appreciate
Good.
your feedback.
What portion of the district benefits department crosses over, touches in, or even deals with student benefits?
Okay, students as students. Well, what I am proud to say is probably in a very selfish way, we've taken advantage of the work-study program.
Outstanding.
And as a result, we have, through the work-study program, we've employed several students to help manage the records.
Excellent.
Manage our support our projects. But outside of that, the way we may affect students on a broader context is under the Affordable Care Act. If we have students who are working here as not as students, but we have to let them know about the exchange, the health insurance exchange.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of tangential and it's a stretch, but there is something there. And again, if deductions show up on their check that shouldn't be there, we need to fix something.
Gotcha. Talk a little bit about the outreach. We've had the health challenge lately, and some of the other things you got coming up in the years to come.
Oh well. Well, we're looking forward to community building events where we can build the morale of our employees and extended community family, if you will. Right. Back in 2010, Chancellor Harris suggested that the benefits office do a company picnic, and I'm thinking, and just why would we do that? What benefit is that? And his opinion was that it would build community, build morale. Families would get to see each other. Why are we working? We are able to share our families with one another. So since then, we have done or have taken the district and our friends and family to Water World, to the Alameda County Fair. We've gone on a district cruise. In this particular year, we're going hot off the press. We're going to have a return to Water World. Back by popular
We're going back
demand.
to Water World.
Going back to water. Going back to the water. But outreach is very important. One of the other underpinnings of not just the medical and the health, but it's also the voluntary benefits. That's as much of an employee retainer. The medical's fine, the dental's great, but what else as a consumer can I receive from Peralta? And so we, like to look at benefits of belonging to the Peralta community, Peralta family. So to that extent, we sponsor retirement workshops, pre-retirement workshops, financial planning workshops. We know about the weight challenge, so are you physically fit? But then are you fiscally fit as well?
I heard that.
So manage your money, know what you own, grow what you own, and protect what you own. In our surveys that we've done over the years, that is a recurring theme of what employees seem to be interested in. They want to, what do I own? What other than other than the medical? What else is there? Do I get a cell phone discount?
Heard that.
Okay.
Do I?
Ask your union, because we as part of our outreach, we try to partner with our collective bargaining units to co-promote benefits that are available not just with the district, but through your alignment with one of the three unions.
Well, Jennifer, I appreciate everything you do, and thank you for coming on the show again.
Thank you very much.
Good seeing you.
Welcome.
All right. We'll be back in a few more minutes with Peralta Matters.
I'm a Laney College student and a park ranger. Like your future at Laney College.
Just finished up a divorce, didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I was incarcerated throughout the years I should have been in high school. Kind of had an epiphany one day that I had never really lived up to my full potential. I couldn't go another day without making that right. At that point, I was like, well, let's try community college. I've always been fascinated with cultures and people and society. I had done a lot of traveling. I used my personal history that I've had in my life, and then the exposure that Laney gave me in the classes that I had to take to transfer. And I combined those experiences, and it really helped solidify my decision to go into anthropology. I'm a double major in anthropology and South and Southeast Asian studies. I learned very quickly here at Berkeley that they're really keen on research. And so I applied to a phenomenal program called the Ronald E. McNair Scholars Program. It's a national program that helps undergraduate students develop research skills. I had an amazing opportunity to go to Cambodia and conduct my research project on the resiliency factors of male survivors of commercial sexual exploitation. I'm also very interested in law and policy and the way laws and policy impact these issues of human trafficking throughout the world. So I applied to another very prestigious program in the area of law, and I got recently accepted into the UCLA Law Fellows program. I would say the EOPS program at Laney was a critical factor in my success. It's all about community, and I'm part of this community. And if you're going to be part of a community, you've got to participate. And participating in this community for me is helping out those that I can help. My son will get permission from his school to take a day out of school to go down to Laney to sit in on Amir's class. My daughter, she also has attended and gone to classes with me. They both intend to go to Laney when they're done with high school, and they want to follow in the footsteps I did. In a sense, Laney's been a huge impact on my whole family. Laney's dear to my heart because of that. It changed my life for sure. And I love the students. It's such a slice of Oakland. It's racially diverse, it's economically diverse, it's socially diverse. It covers just every aspect of Oakland, and Oakland is, one of my favorite places in the world. I'd like to see more people, realize their full potential, and Laney's a great place to start that path. Laney gave me the skills that I needed to transfer to a four-year institution, and for that I'll be eternally grateful to community college. Heck, the breakfast burritos in the cafeteria are great. I love those.
Thank you for watching Peralta News.
Welcome back to Peralta Matters. We are now joined by Dr. Herbert Kitchen, Program Manager here at the District. Herb, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, Jay.
Let's talk first about, how long you've been here and what you've been doing.
Wow. Well, I've been at Peralta since 1992.
Outstanding.
A long, long time.
Right.
So I've seen a lot of people come, people go, and a few of us have remained here.
Right on, right on.
And in those going on 25 years, worked in the marketing department. I enjoy marketing because we are creative, we're thinkers, we're doers, and people see our final product. And that's what I really enjoy doing here at Peralta.
In your time here, especially dealing with the outreach factor, what are you seeing as the best tools to reach our students?
Well, in the past, when I first started, the best tools was face-to-face. Going out to high schools, going out to community centers, going out to places, churches, synagogues, face-to-face. That's really what it was then, because people wanted that personal touch. People wanted to see you and hear you up front and in person. People wanted to see you bring materials there. People wanted you to be able to present to them in person. That was then. Bring it back to 2016. Most work that we do now is electronic.
Gotcha.
Yeah, most work that we do now is electronic, via email, via social media. And
do you feel like it's taken away from the personal?
I think it's taken away from the personal touch, because when you go out to the high schools, when you talk to people face to face, they see a face and they see a name that when they go to on campus, they can say, well, I met this person and that person helped me out. But when you do it electronically or through Facebook, that could be anyone who is pushing that button or sending you that information. And our goal is that we're going to go back to face-to-face interactions. Because when you have face-to-face interactions, you are engaging folk. You are really letting them know that we are here, we're real people, we're not just a number, but we're real people trying to help you get to the next stage of your life.
Within the outreach for students, what also would you see as outreach internally? How do we keep our morale together? How do we find a way to inspire and help each other?
Here at Peralta, we have a a small cadre of folk who enjoy going out doing things, going out for dinner, going out for happy hours, going out bowling.
Right.
And as Jennifer Siebert mentioned, there are other activities that Peraltans do. We go to the county fairs. We go to the water worlds. And also, a few years ago, we took a cruise. About maybe, I think, around 20 or 30 of us went on a 3-day cruise to Mexico.
Oh, a 3-day cruise, serious?
3-day cruise,
Okay,
yes, yes. And one of our employees won at the casino. So after she won, I drug her back to her room and said, don't play anymore. Take your winnings and take it back to Oakland with you.
Right on.
But for Peraltans, I feel that if we engage with each other and get to know each other, because there are some folk who don't even know who they are or who these individuals are, because there are so many new people who start at Peralta. And for us old timers, we want to get to know who these new folk are. We want to give them some of our words of wisdom of how we survived here at Peralta. So if we could learn who the new folk are, meet the older folk, and then we can bridge that gap. So by doing these activities after work, the bowling piece, I think that really bridges the gap between older employees and newer employees so that we all get to know each other.
As far as the outreach for employees and finding our common ground to help each other, where do you see room for improvement as far as our outreach within the colleges? So for instance, as a district employee, we're clearly dealing with all 4 of them. What could we also do as a district to individually support the 4? And I don't mean this to support them in their educational plans, but I mean support the employees, build the same camaraderie we're talking about that we have here in the district.
Because as you mentioned, Peralta is a district with 4 colleges. And I believe we have over 1,400 employees, full-time, part-time. We're trying to do activities that is inclusive of everyone at Peralta. We're trying to do programs that are interactive with folk at the 4 colleges, because we are a Peralta family. Because as most folks say, we're with Peralta family than we are with our own family. Because we see Peraltans over 40 hours a week. So we're trying to bridge that gap between the 4 colleges, how we can have activities that all 4 colleges and the district staff can get to know one another, so that we can really do things outside of the workplace. And also in the workplace. And one of those activities is acknowledging folk.
Sounds like it's hard to do, but it's really simple, isn't it?
It's really simple. We need to acknowledge our own, to which Peralta does not do that often. We may do it once a year or every 5 years, but we need to acknowledge folk for their time, for their talents, and what they bring to the district. And one of my colleagues, Ann Childress, she pulls together an event I believe every June, coming up shortly, where we acknowledge folk here at the district office for their years of service. And last year was our first time doing it, and we had an employee that was here for over 40 years. So when you have folk who have been here 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, we need to acknowledge them for their time and their service here at Peralta, because they could have left, went someplace else, but they dug their heels in and stayed here at Peralta. So if we could find ways that we can acknowledge everyone within the entire district, I feel that will help, help with morale, and also that will help Peraltans know that we care about you. That we care about you. And that's what people want. People want to know that someone cares about them and the work that they do.
And if anything else, it's so empowering to our constituents and our fellow colleagues that we say, hey, I see you doing this work, or I see you doing your job. As simple as it is, just making that courtesy and that extension helps a long way.
It really does. It really does.
Kurt, thanks for coming on the show, man. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Jay.
All right. We'll be right back with more Peralta Matters.
Welcome to Vox Peralta. I'm your host, Brianna Rogers. Today, we're at Berkeley City College, asking the students what advice would they have to potential students interested in going to college.
If you're at all interested in coming to college, come.
Make plans on what you want to do, and then if you have plans, just stick to your plan, and then that's how you become successful.
Go to this kind of college, community college, especially the Peralta College, and to continue. Yeah.
Well, it gives them a broader perspective. Instead of just going straight to work, I think that college really opens up their opportunity.
Just really apply yourself, because there's a lot of opportunities here. Everybody's really supportive and welcoming, and there's a lot of different ways you can get involved.
Don't be shy. Make a connection with a student on campus, because that's an untapped resource, absolutely.
Well, folks, there you have it. The popular voice right from the students. I'm your host, Brianna Rogers, and you're watching Vox Peralta on Peralta TV. See you next time.
Hi, I'm Kathryn Nichols, Academic Counselor at Berkeley City College. Like your future at the Peralta Community College District.
All aboard!
I'm Courtney Brown. I teach computer science at Merritt College. Like your future at Peralta Colleges.
Welcome back to Peralta Matters. I want to thank our guests for coming on the show today. And to get any information about the topics we discussed, please visit us at peralta.edu. Until the next show, do something that matters.
Peralta TV, programs that matter.